Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. The second day of the 2024 yoga challenge is upon us. Today we're going to be working with the moon salutations, which is a little bit more of an unconventional sequence because usually in yoga we move back and forth. You step forward, you step back. It's just like a back and forth movement. Usually you face the top of the mat. But in this one, we're going to face the side of the mat. So I'm actually going to face you, the camera, which is I find a little bit unconventional, but pretty fun. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's not typically something that you would see in a yoga class normally. But still, it's a pretty fun sequence to do. I find it to be super creative, super fun. So let's get into it. I'll guide you through it, and as always, as in the last video, if you want a little bit more of a analysis of a breakdown of some details into the postures, into the practice, you can just stay tuned for the end of the video. But now let's get into the actual practice. So I'm going to stand a little bit on the left side, which is what I recommend to start off the moon salutation. And we start exactly as the sun salutation, hands palms together in front of the chest. You take a deep breath in, you stretch up towards the ceiling, make yourself tall. Exhale, we go over to the right. This is a half moon. Push your hips to the left, lengthen up through the spine, chest up, come down a little bit more. Inhale, back to the center. Take a deep breath in, stretch up, and exhale, going over to the left. Push your hips to the right. Chest up, make sure your hips and shoulders are squared. Arms are strong, legs are strong. Come down a little bit more, belly in. Change, come up to the middle. Step out, go down into a goddess. So toes pointing out, 45-degree angles. Try to sit down, legs 90 degrees. Instead of hands palms together in front of the chest, actually you can do this as well, a little bit cactus arms. Sit down, feeling powerful, belly in. And now we move into the triangles. So straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Turn the left toes in, stretching forward over the right leg. The right fingertips on the outside of the right leg is a good idea. Stretching the left arm up, looking up. And now you try to twist your chest open. Try to lean your chest back as well. Imagine you have a wall behind you. Stretching your arms up and down, keep your legs super strong. Now moving over into the pyramid pose. Hands palms down, framing the right foot, stretching over the right leg with the spine. Maybe pull your shoulders back a little bit. Come up onto the left toes and bring your left knee down. Moving into low lunge. Inhale, bring your arms up. Try to sink the hips a little bit lower to open up into the hip flexor. And arch your spine back as much as you can, looking up. And now we're going to move into the side lunge, Skandasana. So a little bit turning the right toes in. You want to sit down close to your right heel. Hands palms in front of the chest. Pushing the right knee back with the help of your right elbow. The left toes can point up. Make sure your left leg is strong. Chest up. And now we're going to move into the yogi squat. So just bringing the left leg in. This time you got to push both of your knees out with the help of your elbows. Make sure your chest is lifted the whole time. Sending your tailbone down, but then the crown of your head going up. If you're struggling with this posture, try to bring your legs further apart. If you're having an easy time and your hips are open, your ankles are flexible, just bring the legs closer. So this is the middle of the sequence. Now we got to move back over onto the other side. So we start with Skandasana, left side, right toes pointing up, chest up the whole time. Into the low lunge on the left side. So bringing the right knee down, sinking the hips low, arms up, arching back. Coming up, bring the hands down, framing the left foot. So you want to come into the pyramid pose. I like to bring my right heel down for this one. Stretching forward, shoulders back. Try to keep your hips even, so bringing a little bit the left hip back. And for the triangle, just bring your right foot parallel, left fingertips on the outside of the left foot, right hand stretching up. Chest up. Try to think of your right ribs going back. Coming up all the way, strong core, strong legs, sinking into the goddess. Strong legs. Think of engaging the glutes to open up your knees. Don't lean your chest too far down. Try to stay upright. Bringing the legs back together, stretching up. Going over to the left. Push, push, push your hips to the right. Belly in. Come down a little bit more. Change. Back to the middle. Inhale and stretch up. Going over to the right. Push a little bit more. Back to the middle. Hands, palms together in front of your chest. Close your eyes for a minute. See how that feels in your body. So that was the moon salutation. What I mean by it being a little bit unconventional is the way that we move laterally through the sequence. And I really love that about the sequence. I find it so empowering, full of sort of hip openers, a lot of female energy. This can be nice as well to do every day before you go to bed. Just a little bit of a calming, beautiful, flowy sequence. And it's very powerful when you pair it with a sun salutations in the morning, moon salutations at night. It's just such a beautiful little practice you can do every day. As you move through the practice, try to think of the alignment. Try to think of how your hips are, where your arms are, how your body's moving. If your chest is hunching down, you gotta open it a bit more. So try to think of those little alignment cues that I give you along the way. As you move through the postures, try to keep some integrity. That way, when you take yoga classes in the world or, watch other videos on YouTube of yoga practices, then you can start to think a little bit about how your own body is moving, what you can do to improve your practice, to take it one step further. So it's also about being your own teacher sometimes. So yeah, that's the end of the second day of the yoga challenge. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Namaste.